back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is currently a rainy Tuesday here, and my coffee is completely cold, but we have to talk about the absolute madness happening in Genoa City right now because my brain is spinning. Let's just dive right into it. So let's talk about Victor Newman for a second. The great Victor Newman, the man who thinks he can just move people around like chess pieces on a board and never face any consequences. He really believes he is untouchable. And honestly, for a long time, he kind of was. But this latest scheme of his, it is so messy, so incredibly messy. I mean, what was he thinking? He actually thought he could take Matt Clark, a guy with a history so dark and disturbing that just hearing his name makes half the town shudder, and use him as a personal spy. Victor thought he could just dangle a carrot in front of Matt, promise to make his legal troubles vanish, and Matt would just blindly follow orders. But Victor underestimated something huge. He underestimated the fact that human beings are unpredictable. Even guys like Matt, and let's be real, the fans on social media have been screaming about this for weeks. Everyone has been saying that Victor using Matt against Kane Ashby was going to backfire. It was just a matter of time. You cannot control a wild card like Matt. You just can't. And in this latest episode, we finally saw the cracks starting to show. Big, massive cracks that are going to bring Victor's whole house of cards crashing down. So here is how it all went down. We are at society, right? Kane and Lily are sitting at a table just trying to have a normal moment, which is basically impossible for them these days. They have all this heavy Chancellor Winters drama hanging over their heads. Lily is already super on edge. A few episodes ago, she overheard Matt asking Kane all these probing, overly detailed questions about the inner workings of the company, questions about sensitive business deals with Victor. So Lily's radar is already blaring. She knows Matt is up to no good. She can smell a rat from a mile away. Then, out of nowhere, Matt just walks right up to their table. He puts on this charming face and offers to buy them drinks. Like they are old buddies catching up at a sports bar. It was so awkward. You could cut the tension with a knife. Kane immediately gets defensive. He tries to shoo Matt away. Just a total get lost buddy vibe. He doesn't want Matt's drinks. He doesn't want Matt anywhere near him or Lily. But Matt is persistent. He just stands there hovering. And this is where I got a little frustrated with Lily. Instead of telling Matt to take a hike, Lily decides to just get up and walk away. She literally leaves Kane alone at the table with this guy. Why? Why would she do that? She knows Matt is bad news. She literally warned Kane to be careful around him. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe she just figured Kane needed to handle this man to man. Or maybe she just wanted to get out of the line of fire. But leaving them alone, that was a choice, a big choice. So Lily leaves. And Matt sits down. He actually pulls out a chair and sits down across from Kane. And then he just spills it. He completely spills the beans. I was sitting here screaming at my screen. You guys, I could not believe what I was hearing. Matt just straight up confesses everything. He tells Kane that Victor Newman doesn't trust him, which, duh, Victor doesn't trust anyone. But Matt admits that Victor sent him there to spy. Victor literally ordered Matt to get close to Kane, to dig up dirt, and to find out exactly what Kane is plotting against the Newman family. And Matt doesn't stop there. He goes full confessional mode. He tells Kane about the dirty deal Victor offered him. Victor promised to pull some strings, to make all of Matt's pending charges and legal nightmares disappear if Matt successfully ruined Kane. But here is the crazy part. Matt says he can't do it. He says he is being eaten alive by guilt. He claims he wants real redemption. He doesn't just want to be Victor's attack dog to save his own skin. Do we believe him? Do you guys actually believe Matt Clark wants redemption? I honestly change my mind every 5 minutes. 1 minute, I think he is playing everyone, playing this whole amnesia victim card to perfection. And the next minute, I see him looking all tormented and lost, and I think, well, maybe his brain really did hit a reset button. Maybe he genuinely is horrified by the monster he used to be. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Matt seems genuinely shocked by how ruthless Victor is. Matt thought Victor was this honorable patriarch, but now he sees the ugly truth. Victor will use anyone and destroy anyone to get what he wants. But let's shift to Cain. Cain Ashby is a lot of things. He can be arrogant, he can be sneaky, but he is not stupid. When Matt is pouring his heart out, dropping this massive bombshell, Cain doesn't even look surprised. Not even a little bit. He just sits there listening intently, and you can practically see the gears turning in his head. Cain realizes instantly that this is a golden opportunity. This is a gift handed to him on a silver platter. If Matt is willing to turn on Victor, Cain can use this to flip the script entirely. Cain plays it cool, of course. He denies plotting anything against the Newmans. He plays the innocent victim. But he tells Matt that he suspects Victor's plot is way deeper than just some simple corporate espionage. Cain knows Victor always has layers to his schemes. There is always a game within a game. And Cain wants to use Matt to expose all of it. Then the conversation takes this really weird, almost comical turn. Matt starts getting super philosophical. He talks about hitting rock bottom, about being in the darkest place a person can be. And then he says he wants to learn from someone like Cain. He wants Cain to show him how to be a better man. He wants to be a completely new version of himself. I literally laughed out loud. Matt Clark asking Cain Ashby for moral guidance? It is hilarious. Cain is the guy who has lied, schemed, and faked his way through half his life in this town. And Matt is looking at him like he is some kind of saint. Cain just looks at him, totally deadpan, and asks, "What was wrong with the old version of you?" It was such a loaded question, because Cain doesn't know the full extent of the absolute horrors Matt committed against Nick and Sharon and everyone else. Or maybe he does know some rumors, but he's testing Matt. He wants to see how much Matt actually remembers or how much he is willing to admit. It was a brilliant little chess move by Cain. And just when the tension is peaking, just when Matt is about to answer, guess who walks up? Phyllis Summers. Of course it's Phyllis. She just materializes out of thin air to interrupt the most important conversation of the week. Phyllis has this incredibly weird, complicated connection to Matt right now. She has been defending him to everyone. She even agreed to go on a date with him. She is totally smitten, which is disgusting considering what he did to her daughter's father. But whatever. Phyllis is going to Phyllis. So Phyllis walks up, completely oblivious to the heavy stuff that was just going down. Or maybe she isn't oblivious. Maybe she saw them talking and wanted to intervene. Either way, she interrupts. And Cain immediately turns his attention to her. He doesn't miss a beat. He starts grilling Phyllis about Matt. He wants to know what her deal is with him. Why is she protecting him? What does she know? This whole situation is going to be so messy. I mean, think about it. If Cain and Matt actually team up to take down Victor, that is a massive alliance. But what happens when Phyllis gets caught in the crossfire? Because she will. She always does. Phyllis is trying to use Matt for her own validation, or maybe she really likes him. Who even knows anymore? But if Matt is secretly working with Cain to destroy Victor, and Victor finds out, Victor is going to lose his mind. Victor Newman does not handle betrayal well. When he finds out that his little spy decided to grow a conscience and flip on him, the wrath of Victor is going to be biblical. He will crush Matt. He will crush Cain. He will probably try to crush Phyllis just for standing too close to them. It is going to be an absolute bloodbath. And what about Lily? Where does she fit into all this? She walked away from the table, but she is not going to just let this go. Lily is fiercely protective of Chancellor Winters. She already knows Matt is digging for information. When Kane tells her what Matt confessed, if he tells her she is going to go into full battle mode, Lily and Kane might actually have to get on the same page to handle this Victor situation, which would be ironic considering how much they have been fighting lately. Honestly, the writers have really outdone themselves with this tangled web. For a while there, things were getting a little stale. But this is the good stuff. This is the soapy, dramatic, backstabbing goodness that we tune in for. I just hope they don't rush the payoff. I want to see Victor squirm. I want to see him realize that his perfect little plan is falling apart because he trusted a psychopath with amnesia. You really can't write this stuff. Well, I guess they did write it, but you know what I mean. Let's rewind for a second and look at the history here. Victor and Kane have never exactly been best friends. Victor has always looked down on Kane. He always thought Kane wasn't good enough for Lily, wasn't good enough for the corporate world, just wasn't good enough, period. So the fact that Victor is now trying to actively destroy Kane using a pawn like Matt, it just shows how deep Victor's resentment goes. He can't just let Kane be. He has to crush him, and Kane knows this. Kane has spent years dealing with Victor's condescension and his ruthless business tactics. So when Matt sits there and says Victor is plotting against him, it's basically just a regular Tuesday for Kane. But having the actual spy flip, that is rare. People don't usually cross Victor Newman and live to tell the tale. And let's talk about the absolute sheer audacity of Matt Clark. I mean, honestly, the nerve of this guy. He shows up in Genoa City, claiming he doesn't remember all the horrific, vile things he did. He expects everyone to just give him a clean slate. And Victor, who usually has the best security and the most paranoid mind in the world, just welcomes him in. It makes no sense. Or maybe it makes perfect sense because Victor thinks his power is absolute. But Matt's sitting there, looking Kane in the eye and saying he wants to be a better person, it makes my skin crawl. It really does. Even if the amnesia is real, the core of who Matt is, can that really change? Can a leopard change its spots? I just don't buy it. And I don't think Kane buys it either. Kane is just pragmatic. He sees a tool and he is going to use it. I also can't stop thinking about Lily's role in this. Lily Winters has been through the ringer lately. She has been fighting so hard to keep Chancellor Winters afloat and to manage all the massive egos around her. When she got up and left that table, it spoke volumes. It was like she was saying, I don't have the time or the energy for this toxic masculinity nonsense. But by leaving, she inadvertently gave Kane the space to form this dangerous new alliance. If Lily finds out that Kane is conspiring with Matt, the very guy she warned him about, she is going to be furious. Lily wants clean business. She wants to do things the right way. Teaming up with a known psychopath to take down her former father-in-law is definitely not the right way. This is going to cause a massive rift between Kane and Lily, just when it seemed like they might be finding some common ground. And then there is Phyllis. Oh, Phyllis, what are we going to do with you? She just can't help herself. She sees a mess and she just dives right in head first. Her interrupting that conversation wasn't just bad timing. It was a collision of storylines. Phyllis hates Victor right now. She hates him with a fiery passion because of what he did to her with the AI forgery and stealing her company. So, if Phyllis finds out that Matt, her new little project, is secretly working for Victor, she will be devastated. But if she finds out Matt is double-crossing Victor to help Kane, she might actually join the team. Can you imagine a team-up of Kane, Matt, and Phyllis against Victor Newman? It would be the most chaotic, dysfunctional, explosive alliance in the history of daytime television. They would probably end up destroying each other before they even laid a scratch on Victor. But that is the beauty of this show, isn't it? The shifting loyalties, the constant backstabbing. You think you know who the good guys and the bad guys are, and then the writers just flip the board upside down. Matt Clark, the ultimate villain, is now playing the role of the guilty conscience spy. Kane Ashby, the guy who just wants to run a company, is now plotting a counter-espionage strike. And Victor Newman, the puppet master, is completely blind to the fact that his strings have been cut. I really need to know what happens next. The suspense is killing me. Does Kane immediately start giving Matt fake information to feed back to Victor? Does he use Matt to plant false documents? The possibilities are endless. Kane could totally feed Victor a bogus narrative that makes Victor make a massive financial mistake. Or he could use Matt to gather actual evidence of Victor's blackmail, which is a federal crime. If Kane gets his hands on proof that Victor is extorting a known criminal to commit corporate espionage, Victor could actually go to prison. Okay, let's be real. Victor Newman never goes to prison for more than like 3 episodes. But still, the scandal would be magnificent. And let's not forget the emotional toll this is taking on Matt. If we take his confession at face value, the guy is struggling, he says he is tormented, he says he wants redemption. But redemption isn't just turning on your blackmailer. Redemption means facing the people you actually hurt. It means facing Nick, facing Sharon, facing Noah. Is Matt ready to do that? I highly doubt it. He is looking for an easy way out. He thinks by helping Kane, he is doing a good deed that will magically wash away his past sins. But that's not how it works. You can't just erase the trauma he caused. And I think Kane's question, what was wrong with the old version of you? It was the perfect reality check. It was a reminder that Matt's past isn't just a blank page. It's a horror story. All right, I'm rambling now. I know I am. But there is just so much to unpack here. This single scene at Society just blew the whole storyline wide open. The dynamics have shifted completely. The hunter has become the hunted. The spy has become the double agent. And Phyllis is just standing there in her fabulous heels, ready to stir the pot even more. I am officially obsessed with this plotline. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is Matt playing everyone? Is Kane going to win this war? We will just have to wait and see.